All right.
Hi guys, this is Marie Wosu P for the real life of cerebral palsy. The real life of adults with cerebral palsy, and I'm here tonight with Aaron Kalinowski of Aaron's Journey. Aaron is a wonderful man with cerebral palsy and autism, and he runs a Facebook page called Aaron Journey, and he is an advocate for both autism and cerebral palsy, and he loves DJing. Is that right, Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
And tonight I'm just gonna talk to Aaron as a friend, have a friendly conversation with Aaron and what he faces, the challenges he faces every day, how he has two disabilities, autism and cerebral palsy, and what disability he relates to more. Aaron, welcome to our show. Oh, and side note, Aaron also helps the real life of adults with CP when he can with technical stuff, putting podcasts or video casts together. So he is such a big help to the real life of adults with CP. So let's give Aaron a big hand and welcome him to the show as a guest. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Marie.
How are you?
I am good.
So, today we're just gonna talk as we do every day as friends and not put any pressure on each other. So,
Mm-hmm.
let's get started. So, Aaron and I met about 2 years ago through both our work with CP and autism. We it takes Aaron a while to open up to people, but I think Aaron has done a good job with opening up to me about his life and about asking me questions about life with cerebral palsy, and he has taught me a lot about autism. So, Aaron, what is it like having both autism and cerebral palsy, and what disability do you relate to more, and why do you think you relate to that one disability more?
Okay. To be honest, when it comes to that, honestly, I could feel like it sounds be a bit of a black hole at times because it's one of those things to where either the cerebral palsy is affecting me. It could be just that, or it could be the other, or both, which then which then is a double whammy.
How do they work together in your body? Do they challenge each other?
In a way you could put it that way because I mean because um you know because physically I'm not exactly not exactly as well as most people would notice, like normal like they would normally not see my cerebral palsy, but for those that do, I'm not exactly the most mobile, um when it comes to my when it comes to myself physically, and then when it comes to the autism, um, socially and things like that, um, I I've for the longest time I was usually to myself like a bit secluded and everything else, yada yada, when I was younger. But over the years, I have slowly been opening up. Um, ever since starting Aaron's journey, um, and I mean, in a way, I have managed to get better, like in terms of getting myself out there. But you know, in certain ways, I still have a long way to go.
Tell us about what kind of CP you have and what kind of autism you have, and what does Aaron Journey really do for not only people around the world with autism and cerebral palsy, but what about you? I've known you for almost 2 years now. I know what you do with Aaron Journey, and I've seen a lot of progress from you over the last 2 years.
Okay, like how I started it, this goes as far back as like 2009 actually.
Really?
Um, yes, because um originally a lot of people have always like asked about me, like terms about me and my cerebral palsy and things like that, and you know, and they're just a lot of the times. Sometimes they would ask me questions that are like hard to answer, and and I never really got the chance to really answer those questions until I opened up Aaron's Journey, which then which then I finally came out with my story, and and have been ever since then a advocate for people with disabilities.
So, what type of cerebral palsy do you have, and what type of autism do you have?
Um, in terms of my cerebral palsy, I'm hemiplegia, which affects one side of my body over the
What,
rest of it. So
what side of your body?
okay, so from like this side down
So, what side
down
is
my
that?
leg.
Your right side?
Yeah, okay, so say like this is my right, and then this is my left.
Yeah.
That's the best way I could put it, because
Okay. And what kind of autism do you have?
um mostly high functioning. To a degree I can function, but but in terms of like socially, I am not like I'm not exactly like I'm not exactly the per se functional that that people would expect, you know from
How,
from someone, and things like that, like
how has
which sometimes has, which, to be honest with you, sometimes has kind of put a burden on me, because I a lot of the time I was having to try to fit in, and it it was never really that easy.
how has social media made you feel like you fit in? Is it easier to fit in through social media, or is it hard
Um um
harder? Is it harder to fit in when you see the person physically face to face, like out in the program? Or is it easier to socialize through social media?
honestly, unless like unless like um honestly, unless I know the person real well, honestly, it's usually easier for me to easier for me to communicate for social media.
Okay, so as you see, as everyone in the world sees social media as something that means something different to everyone, but for people with disabilities like you and I, social media helps us come out of our shell and talk to people one to one without even leaving our so-called comfort zone of our own house. Like you, Aaron, you built yourself almost like a little radio station in your house to where like you have the microphones and the sound system right at your hands, right? Because you love being like a DJ and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which to tell you the truth, how that originally came to be was because it wasn't okay. Like originally when I was in school, I first after getting interested in politics, down the line, I became interested in mass media, once I got into my high school years, that led into my interest of radio, which then, of course, then I end up pursuing, which then I end up pursuing for a degree, for communication. So.
And you have a degree in communications, right? You went to a program for it?
Yeah, I think if I remember, I think it was like 8.5 months, I think.
So you did an online program, right?
Yeah, from what I remember, from what I understand, it lasted from last year up until March of this year.
That's cool. I'm so proud of you. Even the small time we have spent together and talked about many issues along the way, Aaron has opened up tremendously. Every little step you take is a milestone, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because honestly, I mean, at times I feel like when it came to friendships and stuff, I feel I used to fine, but like outside that, I don't always feel feel like I'm the best person to really connect with on a deeper level than that.
Why
Honestly,
you connect on some level to people, cause how many followers do you have?
um, let me think. Let me check. In terms of like, do you mean like on Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook and Twitter, wherever you're on, cause Aaron also does Twitter and he has his own podcast called what, DJ Aaron?
No, no. It's also named Aaron's Journey.
Oh, Aaron Journey, okay.
Yeah. So okay. So as of right now, my current the amount of people that have liked my page have been 695, and let me check. And then on my Twitter, um okay, and then of course on my Twitter, I have like at least, let me see, um 1,016 followers.
Whoa, that's great. So you have like almost 2,000 followers, and you know what? That is so awesome for someone like you who is afraid to go out in public and socialize. So we see how social media can help people like you to have kind of like talk to people without seeing them face to face and in your own comfort zone or your home. How about, have you met any people that inspire you with autism or cerebral palsy or?
Now, yeah, when it comes to autism, honestly, who inspired me honestly is a name is a man by the name of I'm not sure if I'm going to say his last name right, but of course it's just, of course, I believe his full name is Louis Scarantino, I think.
I
If
think so. I never get his name right because I'm also friends with him too.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, at one point in my life, I at one point in my life around at one point in my life, I kind of at one point lost kind of like most of my motivation and things like that, and um and it wasn't until he came around that I have managed to do a lot more than what I've done in the past, um which which most of you guys that do keep up with me, you have been seeing some of the stuff I've been doing outside of my podcast and things like
Oh yeah,
that has been
yeah.
significant. So
You are kind of coming into your comfort zone and doing small, like little group talks about things in your day program, right?
well I mean, like, it's not just that per se, but it's more of also locally. I have been doing locally when I'm able to. Have been doing like I've been doing like speeches on the side, um whenever I've had the chance to, because it's like so far I have done like two of them so far,
That's
and
wonderful.
and and believe me, it took a lot out of me to be able to do those, especially even with them prepared.
So, Aaron, I know you go to a day program. Is it through ARC? Has ARC helped you in the last year to
Um,
come out do your show too?
um, like my show, yes. Um, because okay, to better explain this, now, as most of you may know, if you have a disability, there's several different agencies that are out there that are able to help you get out in the community, and the program that I am associated with to do that is Century Services, which of course in a way is also connected within how I get to the Arc every week.
That's wonderful. And how many days a week do you go to ARC and for how long?
Um, usually, usually 2 days a week, and then until I would say around like I think like I think like I think like maybe around like two like 2:30, I think.
Yeah, 'cause I've noticed that when we talk, it's usually around 3:30 in the afternoon, right?
Well, somewhere around there usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of that, of course I'm usually over there for those 2 days, and then I usually just try to then I usually try to do the other then I usually then it's where, of course, you of course already know this, but for people that don't know, um for anyone uh anyone that have asking if I do like if I do like any exercise routine or anything, I do go to a gym actually, like
That's
once a week.
wonderful.
So
That's wonderful. Do you have a recreation person that takes you to the gym, or does mom and dad take you to the gym?
um mainly the one that takes me is my worker through Century. So
That's wonderful.
yeah. So
Um, I also know that you're into interviewing people that have done animation, and like you interviewed some big name people, right? Like the
mhm.
creator of Jimmy Neutron and the creator of. Then did you interview the creator of SpongeBob before he passed away?
I no, I never got that chance. So the thing is, there because there have been times where there have been various people that have worked in the industry that I sometimes have wanted to reach, but it's not always been possible. So
But
so what I've been able to get, I've been fortunate that
how
that
was
that
your
anybody's been that any of the professionals have been interested.
how was your interview with SpongeBob? I mean Jimmy Neutron. Sorry, Jimmy Neutron.
Um, Actually, how that first came about, um, that was because a friend of mine knew one of the actors that played one of the characters for it, which was I'm not sure for you guys that are listening, but I don't know if you guys know of actor, the voice actor Mark DiCarlo, which he for Hugh Neutron played Hugh Neutron,
Oh, cool.
which I was lucky enough to which I was lucky to get an interview with him, and then down the line I was able to get in contact with with the actual with the actual lady that voiced Hugh Neutron,
That's
Debbie Derryberry.
that's wonderful. So see, just because you have a two totally different disabilities, you still know how to get around, and you just get around and you're more comfortable in the different atmosphere than just going out and seeing people at coffee shops or the movies or whatever. You're comfortable with.
Like like I mean like I mean I'm not like totally against I'm not totally against in person, but it's like but I'm only but in terms of in person, I'm only really the most comfortable if like like if if I know the person real well.
Yeah, you know what? Aaron and I had. This is our second take on this interview because the interview we did before and we did with my partner in the real life of adults with CP, and Aaron, as much as Aaron knows the Cindy Evans who's in Australia, Aaron wasn't that comfortable, so he asked if only him and I could do the interview, and of course I will do anything for Aaron. I think the world of Aaron. So Aaron, what else do you want to talk about?
Um, like I mean like I mean besides that I mean on it I mean I of course some of you have I know some of you have wondered how I've gotten to public speaking, which I'll go into detail about that actually. Well, um, about like 2 years ago, I met Liz Scarantino, which we started connecting through social media, um, and then eventually after seeing after seeing his speech that he done in Canada, um, that actually managed to actually managed to spark inspiration for me to actually you know go into doing it, going into doing it regularly. So which is if you guys for you guys that follow me, um, I if you want to see one of them that I done, you can go to my Facebook page and you'll find if you go into my photos or like if you go down to my post from August 13th, you'll find a set of pictures from the second presentation that I've done. So yeah.
That's wonderful. Now, have you met Mr. Scarantino Lewis? Have you met Lewis in person?
Oh yes, yes actually. Yeah, cause yeah, if you're wondering about that, if for you guys that don't mind finding out, but what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pull my screen up because I actually have because I actually have because I actually have a because I
What did I
actually
do? I'm sorry, I did something to.
because I
Oh
actually have a
no,
picture on
you
me.
did it. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
see, there's Lewis. He's an awesome guy, and I know you and Lewis kind of live in the same area, or at least the same state, right?
Well, yeah, in a way. Luckily, we were really lucky. I was really lucky because he didn't live too far from me.
That's wonderful.
So this managed to work out.
That's wonderful. Maybe we could do an interview with him one day. Would you like that, you and me?
Yeah, we can consider that. Which actually for the people that do listen to my podcast, I actually did interview him at one point.
That's great.
Years. But
Great.
let me
Now, what do you hope to accomplish in the future? Like I said before, any little small steps that Aaron takes are kind of giant steps in his mind. So, what's the next little giant step you're hoping to take in your life or your career in social media and radio?
honestly at this point, um I'm kind of at that level to where like I'm kind of wanting to like trying to get back into the dating scene and get myself back out there um because at one point I wasn't exactly the most confident person after my last experience, and um in the long run I just want the best for myself and to be able to be happy and things like that. I, I just I just want to continue to defy expectations.
I think you do define expectations. It just takes people's patience to listen to you, and I think that you were gonna do an amazing things in your life and your career. Do you hope to live on your own someday?
Um, in terms of that, like in terms of live my own, in a way, yes. Which I'm working towards that, but as of right now, it's on the level to where I'm not exactly at the
That,
next half of it yet.
so where um at what point in life are you? Where do you see yourself in life now? Do you see yourself just hanging out doing this a little while longer before taking another large step in life? Or what's the next journey on Aaron's journey?
Um, besides the first thing I already mentioned, when I can, I'm hoping that, of course, hoping to move up when I can, because because
Hoping
in the long, hoping to move up, because honestly, that'll be beneficial for me in terms of my independence, and trying to keep my confidence up there, and everything else. So that way then, I could continue, as I said, to defy expectations.
that's wonderful. Now, how supportive is your family with all that you do and all that you want to? I
Um.
think they're really supportive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. They have always been supportive. Uh. Have been supportive. Um. For me since the beginning.
that's wonderful.
So.
That's
So yeah.
wonderful. Just don't take that stupid cat with you. He has a cat that has no hair, and every time the cat's in the video, I get scared.
And
So, let's see, what else do we talk about? What else do we talk about?
um. Do you have any other questions for me?
Any other questions? What do you know how to be independent if like you were home alone for an hour or out like in the community alone? Do you know how to find a bus, like the city bus, and go on the city bus, or
Like, um, to a degree, I do, but on the other hand, I still need these systems, especially because of my, especially because of my vision, especially because of the over time, the subtle decline in my vision, which has been making things a little more difficult that I haven't mentioned till now. But yeah, I'm mostly independent as far as as far as you can go within my circumstances.
okay, cool,
You
cool.
know, because because I because I've been because 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 I've been lucky that I've been able to still be around to tell my stories. So
That's wonderful, Aaron. Is there anything you want to say to the people about yourself, about maybe, about maybe even though you might not be sociable at first, once you get to know the person, and I think Aaron is very sociable when he's comfortable with the situation.
yeah, honestly, because as I said for you guys to be listening, me growing up, I was not exactly the most social person, especially especially when I was younger, because of me being in and out of the hospital for like 7 years,
Very
and then of course having to focus on my health until until I was able to really to be able to finally get until I was able to finally get myself out there. So yeah.
So, what in the short term goal do you hope to accomplish in like a year from now? Let's say a year from now. What do you hope to accomplish through your social media advocacy?
Um Honestly, when it comes to that, other than continue to inspire and things like that. I'm kind of like hoping to eventually take my public speaking further, as well, to be able to still, to be able to continue to share my story, and be able to let people know that, you may be you might be in where I was in when I was younger, but you'll eventually come around.
Yeah, it takes us, we get there, but it takes us a while. Now I know we've talked about how you like to interview people for your podcast and stuff. What is if you had to interview anyone for your podcast, who would be your dream interview?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Really put me on the spot. Um, oh my gosh. Let me think. I
I tell you who my dream person to interview is. My dream person to interview with would be Michael Kushner, Ashton Kutcher's twin brother. He has cerebral palsy himself.
Oh, okay. But yeah. But I since you put me on the spot, so I'm kind of not sure.
Okay, okay.
Oh my god.
It's something I have to learn with people with autism. It's not to put them on the spot, but I think this is a funny, fair question to ask.
Jeez. Oh, boy.
Is there someone in the CP community of autism community that you would like to interview, or another character actor?
Actually, in terms of like character actors, there is one I'm hoping to reach out to. Now I don't know if you know of the I don't know if you know of the actor Frikarina Taylor, but she she did let's see for the book let's see she back in the back in the day she did Ash Ketchum for the Pogo anime, the English dub, and has done various other roles as well.
Cool.
Ever since ever since having to retire from doing her Ash Ketchum role after 8 years.
That's cool.
So yeah, so to answer that question, that's what I'd give you.
That's awesome. Now, what would you like to say to people out in podcast, videocast land about yourself and about how you've grown in the past couple years?
Oh, okay. Sure. So I honestly, before I started, I of course was still as secluded as I was for the most part, other than like in person. And so I didn't really, I didn't really expect to be where I was at. I never really thought I never thought I'd be where I'm at now until I started my podcast, back in
You said 2000.
Yeah, 2014, and then seeing the progress from then word, and seeing it now, it's like holy crap! Like I never thought in years I'd get to meet any professionals in the media industry.
That's wonderful, Aaron.
Which which when I've been able to make that happen, it's been such an honor because I never thought in years I would meet any media professor, anybody in the industry that I've been inspired by.
Well, you know what, Aaron? I never thought I would meet someone like you. You just inspire me so much every day with what you do, and if you get to know Aaron and like Aaron's journey on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you will be amazed at this wonderful young man. It just takes a certain caring person to realize how just amazing you are. And if anyone gets a chance to know you, you just rock. You're an awesome person, and I love having you as a friend in my life. And I love bothering you about stupid technology things that I should know, but you know what? I'm too old to learn. But I'm learning because Aaron, as much as I'm teaching Aaron, Aaron's also teaching me. So thank you for being on our show, and hopefully, you never know, maybe we could meet one day in person.
Hopefully, hopefully, but I have my doubts.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, because like if it were to happen, I'd have to have the money and crap for it.
Yeah, but then I would have to like, you'll be laughing the whole time because you think I'm so funny and so cool, and in reality, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Just like you know more than I do.
Yeah, like in a certain way, like even after I do, even after we do, like it would probably just be like it would probably be awkward because most time you'd be asking me and asking me and asking me and asking me.
Yeah,
Non-stop.
you know how many times a week I text poor Aaron and say, Aaron, I'm stuck. Can you help me? And Aaron's like, Marie, I have a ton of crap to do. Why are you asking me this stuff? Go away.
No. I'd be like, I'm just like, what do you need? And then I'm like, I got all this stuff to do, and like, I don't mind helping you, but but it would help, like if you knew what to do, so that you don't always have to call me.
I know. Gee. See, what would I do without Aaron? I'll be like, I wouldn't know what to do with that, Joe. And I think any person that is willing to take time to get to know Aaron, they would not know what to do without him either. So please like his page, Aaron Journey, on Twitter and Facebook and wherever you find your podcast, because I think he's just a wonderful person to get to know, and maybe we'll do another interview with him at another time. But thank you for being here, Aaron. I love you so much. You're like a little brother to me, or I'm a pesky older sister to you.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Okay, I think we're over now. Unless you want to say something else.
Okay. Okay. So Okay, so before I go, if you would like to keep up my journey, you can follow me for Facebook, Twitter, and and then if you also want, I also have an Instagram. So
Cool.
which I don't use my Instagram as much, but if you still need to reach me, I'll be I'll be available like when I can, like because I mean I'm able to be like most of the time I'm available, but then there are other times where I may not always be available. So like most of the time I am, but then there are other times where I may be out and I may not be available. So
So you know what? I'll post all your social media stuff on my page.
mm-hmm.
And then if people want to get to know you, then they could like your page, or if they have any questions and want me to answer them for you or whatever, they could like my page too. And we'll do this again, Aaron. Maybe I'll be on your show and you can interview me for your show.
Mm-hmm.
And you can embarrass me. How about that?
Yeah, yeah,
That's an even thing.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I had a long day and I'm gonna go rest up a bit, and then tomorrow, who knows? But you know you're gonna dominate the world someday. Especially you. You're taking over the world someday.
We'll see about that.
I think we should do a podcast together once a month, and we can do a jokingly podcast. Nothing serious, but we could joke and tease each other a bit, and I bet you everyone would love it. We
You know
get
what? What
yeah,
the heck?
what?
You know what? What the heck? Why not?
Okay, we get the Aaron and Marie show once a month. The Aaron and Marie nightly show once a month. You know what? I've always wanted to be a DJ. You're a DJ. We could spin music all night, or we could be a nightly show, like a morning show, and just like banter off each other.
Well, well, in terms of music, we'd have to see about that. But in terms of the other options, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is Marie OCP signing up for the Real Life of Cerebral Palsy, and Aaron Kalinowski signing up for Aaron Journey. See you next time, and I hope you appreciate this podcast. Bye!
Thank you.